Hey everyone, I'm JP, and in today's episode we have some amazing deals to go through together, all for less than $5. The eShop is an amazing place to find great games at an affordable price, and the variety is outstanding. Leave us a comment down below if you're a fan of the eShop as well, and what your favorite genre is so we can help find you some great deals. If this happens to be your first time here, we try to cover the best deals every week and then bring them to the community. Welcome to the channel. If you have a great time or we help you find a game or two that you're interested in, consider hitting that red button down below to become part of the crew. On top of our normal list, we also highlight individual games that are on sale, and we brought back live streams so we can all play games together and hang out. And to the crew already here at the channel, thanks as always for rocking out with us for a few minutes again today. You know we appreciate the love and support, and we have a lot of deals to cover, so let's jump in. As always, stay safe out there and please enjoy the video. Alright, we'll start off the list with Back to Bed. This is a single player puzzle game from two awesome studios and offers roughly 3 to 4 hours of main story gameplay with a download size around 285 megabytes. In this one we play as Bob, and he has a problem staying awake while at work, but the even bigger problem is that Bob has a tendency to sleepwalk as well. Now, as you might imagine, this can become quite dangerous, and it's our job to guide him through these unique 3D puzzles and get him safely through the city, the office, or wherever and back to his bed. With this being a dream world, the laws of physics don't really apply here, and the puzzles can really bend reality, which was awesome to see. If you like puzzle games, please check out Back to Bed before the sale ends on March 9th. Right now it's marked down 60% to just $1.99. Next up we have Bot Vice. This is a single player arcade style shooter with loads of fast paced action and a download size around 165 megabytes. In this one we play as a young female protagonist named Erin with a personal vendetta against a local crime gang called the Wildbots. Our goal is to bring them all to justice one way or another. It features super intense arcade style shooting with an auto aim system allowing for more time to focus on the fun gameplay mechanics, unlockable extra modes, multiple difficulty settings for players of different experience levels, amazing pixel art graphics, and a catchy 90s soundtrack. This is a great little title when you can pick it up on sale, and right now it's currently marked down 80% until March 17th, matching an all-time low of just $1.99. Castle of Heart is a single-player 2D action platformer from 7 levels with a download size around 3.1 gigabytes and a main story that will last roughly 6 to 7 hours to finish up. In this one we play as a disgraced knight that's been defeated and turned into stone by an evil sorcerer. We set out on our adventure from our cursed home village and try to make our way to the castle and ultimately try to undo the curse that was placed upon us. There are more than 20 awesome levels set across 4 unique locations, item and weapon upgrades, secrets, and all that good stuff. Plus, the game was made exclusively for the Switch and takes full advantage of its features. If you're interested in Castle of Heart, make sure to pick it up before the sale ends on March 21st. It's marked down 87% to just $1.99. Next up, we have Elli. This is a single-player 3D puzzle platformer with a top-down view from publisher Banana Kid and will take roughly 6 to 7 hours to complete. The game has a download size around 750 megabytes, and it features a likable protagonist with some cleverly designed puzzles for the player to solve along the way. Now, while you can definitely tell it was made by a small team, the gameplay is solid and offers a great platforming experience with tight controls and beautiful scenery. The designs of the levels and the puzzles work so well together, and might be the most gripping part of the whole game. Elli also features a simple control scheme that's great for both kids and adults alike. If you're interested in Elli, make sure to pick it up before the sale ends on March 21st. Right now it's marked down 75%, matching a previous low of just $1.99. Glam is a 2D action platformer for 1 to 2 players developed and published by Three-Legged Egg and offers roughly 5 to 6 hours of main story gameplay with a download size around 330 megabytes. Now this game is tough as nails and requires lightning quick reflexes, the use of acrobatic maneuvering, and precise timing in many cases. It's basically a series of obstacle courses that will test your patience and give you that ultimate video game punishment you know you love so much. There are more than 200 single-player levels and more than 50 multiplayer levels, so you and a friend or sibling can go wild together. If you like these ultra-tough 2D platformers, make sure to pick this one up before the sale ends on March 22nd. It's marked down 50%, matching a previous low of just $1.99. Next we have Pixboy. This is a retro 2D platformer from Forever Entertainment that will last roughly 4 or 5 hours to finish, and it has a download size around 180 megabytes. Now this game looks and feels like it was stripped right out of the 90s from the Game Boy era. The coolest part, aside from the gameplay of course, are the graphics. You can actually find and collect over 20 different new graphical skins which will change from Game Boy to Commodore 64 and many more. There are more than 40 levels, hundreds of secret rooms, and of course some great platforming action. If you're interested in Pixboy, make sure to give this one a serious look before the sale ends on March 17th. Right now it's marked down 60%, matching a previous low of just $199. The Bug Butcher is a single-player 2D arcade-style shooter for up to 2 players and local co-op from publisher Two Awesome Studios and will take roughly 5 to 6 hours to complete, with the download size around 220 megabytes. The game features fast-paced, chaotic side-scrolling action with over 30 levels and 5 epic boss battles. There are loads of collectibles and upgrades to be found, and the game has multiple difficulty settings for gamers of any experience level. In fact, a while back, Little Man and I played this game in local co-op, and it is tons of fun. I can't recommend it enough. The visuals and sound are top-notch, and there's a lot of value here while on sale until March 9th. Right now it's marked down 75%, matching a previous low of just $199. Apple Knight is a single-player action RPG designed to be fun for gamers of all ages, and it has a download size around 280 megabytes with the main story that will last roughly 3 hours or so to finish up. Now in this one, the levels are huge and have loads of secrets that you can find. There's quests and side quests, plus some pretty tough boss battles as well. The graphics are beautiful and there are weapon and armor upgrades to find, multiple difficulty modes, plus you have the endless mode which will add replayability to that 3-hour main story. This is a great value for fans of the genre, and if you're interested in Apple Knight, be sure to pick it up before the sale ends on March 11th. It's marked down 80% to just $199, matching an all-time low. Next up we have Blaster Master Zero. This is a single-player hybrid of side-scrolling shooter mixed with a top-down adventure game from NT Creates and has a download size around 360 megabytes, offering roughly 8 to 9 hours of gameplay on average. The graphics are reminiscent of the NES 8-bit days, and in fact the developer used the original title from the NES as a foundation to build on for this release. The side-scrolling levels have you controlling the Sophia 3, your trusty space tank, and when you enter a dungeon or other areas where you'll exit the vehicle, it switches to a top-down view, and then we play as Jason. Again, there are item upgrades and weapons to find, plus again cool boss battles as well. And if you're interested in this one, make sure to pick it up before the sale ends on March 10th. It's marked down 50%, matching a previous low of just $499. The second and third one are also on sale as well. Next we have Mages and Treasures. This is a single-player puzzle adventure game from Metallica Games with a download size around 65 megabytes and a main story that can be finished up in about 2 hours. It's played from a top-down view and it centers around a mage that has had all of their treasures stolen. There are several unique locations, puzzles to solve, and enemies to defeat, and it's all presented with a great retro look and sound. Now there are unlockables and new spells that you can find as well, but one thing to keep in mind is that the boss battles are a bit tough at times, and some of it's due to the game's design and not necessarily the difficulty of the bosses. Otherwise though, it's a fun little adventure that happens to be on sale this week for just $3.99, marked down 20% with an introductory discount as it's a new release, and the sale ends on March 11th. Next up we have Phantom Doctrine. This is a single-player strategy RPG from Forever Entertainment, offering more than 50 hours of gameplay with a download size around 6.5 gigabytes. The game tells an immersive story, interweaving multiple historical events and characters to bring to life the reality of the harsh Cold War from a unique perspective. It features next-gen turn-based combat for flexible movement and actions, an expanded battlefield allowing for players to call in reinforcements during the battle, and again a 50+ hour campaign. So there's a lot of value here. If you're interested in Phantom Doctrine, make sure to grab it up before the sale ends on March 17th. Right now it's marked down 90%, matching an all-time low of just $199. Next we have Bulb Boy, which is a single-player puzzle adventure game from Bulbware with a download size around 880 megabytes and a short story that can be finished in just a couple of hours. The game tells a scary story of a house overrun with spooky creatures, and we discover that our entire family has disappeared. It's a strongly narrative-driven point-and-click adventure game which has us solving puzzles, defeating the evil monsters, and ultimately trying to bring back the light. There are secrets and flashbacks that will tell more of the story from a few different perspectives, and if you enjoy a good narrative-driven title, make sure to check this one out before the sale ends on March 11th. It's marked down 70% to just $269. Doom 3, along with many of the games in the series, is currently on sale, and this one is at an all-time low price. The game was originally released back on the Xbox and the PC and was one of the most frightening games to play in a dark room with headphones on. I'm happy to say that the port was done well here on the Switch and it's just as scary as ever. It has a download size around 8.8 gigs and a main story that can last nearly 20 hours to finish up, giving plenty of playtime to justify the cost. Now, Doom 3 at release was a modern day retelling of the original story, and it's a great place for newcomers to jump into the franchise as well. If you're interested in any of the Doom titles, chances are you can pick them up at a discounted price right now. As far as for Part 3, it's on sale until March 9th, marked down 75% to a new all-time low of just $249. Demon's Tier Plus is a roguelike twin-stick shooter from Cowcat Studios with a download size around 105 megabytes, and it offers plenty of playtime due to the replayability of the game. You can also play in local co-op with a friend as well, and this is the final chapter of the Diabolical Mind trilogy. You have multiple playable characters, procedurally generated dungeons, upgrades and unlockables, all that good stuff that you want from a game like this. Another thing that I like is that the game isn't too overly complicated like most twin-stick shooters are, making it accessible to both veterans and newcomers alike. However, if you want a surprise, stay on any of the floors for more than 5 minutes. If you're interested in Demon's Tier Plus, make sure to pick it up before the sale ends on March 19th. Right now it's marked down 80% to a new all-time low of just $199. Next up, we have Evoland, the Legendary Edition. This is a package of 2 amazing single-player adventure RPGs from Shiro Games with a download size of roughly 1 GB and a main story that will last more than 20 hours to finish up. Now, Evoland is a journey through the history of action RPGs, allowing players to unlock new gameplay systems and graphical upgrades as we progress through the story. The game starts out with basic gameplay and graphics, and it evolves as we move through until we're in a fully 3D rendered world with 3D characters and improved mechanics. Part 2 expands upon these systems and adds some good old time travel into the mix as well. If you're interested in Evoland, the Legendary Edition, make sure to grab it up before the sale ends on March 8th. Right now it's marked down 75%, matching an all-time low of just $499. Next we have Far Lone Sails. This is a single-player adventure platformer from Mixed Vision and offers roughly 3 hours of main story gameplay. It has a download size around 2.2 gigabytes, and it's an absolutely beautiful game here on the Switch. Has amazing art, animations, and the music really helps set the atmosphere as you truly feel alone with just your trusty machine to get across the vast nothingness. Our journey will take us across a dried out seabed, and you'll have to learn to maintain and repair the massive vessel that you're traveling within. Again, the game is all about atmosphere and story, and if you're interested in Far Lone Sails, make sure to check it out before the sale ends. Again, on March 8th, it's marked down 80%, matching an all-time low of just $299. And if you enjoy the game, the sequel was just released at the beginning of March. Foregone is a single-player action platformer from Big Blue Bubble and offers roughly 10 hours of main story gameplay on average. It has a download size around 1.4 gigabytes, and it's a fast-paced 2D platformer with amazing pixel art graphics and immersive soundtrack, where we take over the role of a soldier tasked with defending our city by uncovering the secrets of the past. Along the way, you'll find and collect a vast arsenal of powerful weapons, as well as learn new powerful skills that you'll need to face off against the final boss. The levels are stuffed with enemies to have some fun with, and this game is highly recommended while on sale until March 8th. If you're interested in Foregone, it's marked down 75%, matching a previous low of just $499. Flipping Death is a single-player 2D puzzle adventure style game from publisher Zoink Games and offers roughly 5 to 10 hours of main story gameplay with a download size around 2.8 gigabytes. In this one, we play as a young woman that's died under strange circumstances, and when we awake, we find ourselves filling in for Death himself. The unique feature to the game is the ability to flip between the world of the living and the world of the dead. And we'll have to use this ability to help solve the many puzzles that we encounter along the journey to uncover the mysterious circumstances surrounding our death. The game features a rich and colorful environment and a unique pop-up book art style, with a very emotional story that's sure to keep you engaged and moving forward. If you're interested in Flipping Death, make sure to pick it up before the sale ends on March 15th. Right now it's marked down 80%, matching an all-time low of just $399. Next up, we have Ghostblade HD. This is a top-down shoot-'em-up from publisher East Asia Soft and is available for 1 to 2 players in local co-op. The story isn't very long, but the game has plenty of replayability, still making it a great deal. It features again beautiful graphics and outstanding soundtrack that can get you pumped up, and it's a lot of fun, especially if you have a friend to play with. There are 5 stages with epic boss battles, 3 difficulty settings making it approachable for all gamers, unique ships to choose from, in-game achievements, and some of the most fun arcade-style shoot-'em-up action you'll find on the Switch. If you like score-based arcade shooters, make sure to check out Ghostblade HD before the sale ends on March 11th. Right now it's marked down 70%, matching an all-time low of just $449. Next up, we have another shooter, Project Starship X. This is a retro-themed space shooter roguelite with a download size around 1.2 gigs, replayability, and it offers local co-op for 2 players as well. In this one, we pilot the Swag Thulu spaceship through 14 unique levels, collecting upgrades and new weapons along the way. The game has several different game modes, in-game events that can alter the gameplay, and an absolutely amazing soundtrack. Now, the screen shake effects won't be for everyone, so keep that in mind. But the coolest feature though is that you can actually ram into other spaceships, causing massive damage to them and none to yourself. Again, if you like a good shoot 'em up, make sure to check out Project Starship X before the sale ends on March 11th. Right now it's marked down 60%, matching a previous low of just $399. Next we have Steamworld Heist, the Ultimate Edition. This is a 2D action RPG from Image & Form International with a download size around 265 megabytes and a main story that can last nearly 20 hours to finish up. The game even has the New Game Plus for more replayability, plus with the strategic nature of the game, you have to plan ahead. The turn-based combat system is really unique and a lot of fun, and there's a whole lot of value here as the game also features all of the previous DLC included at no extra cost. Right now you can pick up Steamworld Heist for just $4.99, marked down 75%, and Steamworld Dig is also on sale, so if you're a fan of the series or you haven't jumped in yet, that's a great place to start, and the sale ends on March 13th. Next up we have Toby, The Secret Mine. This is a single-player 2D puzzle platformer published by Head Up Games and offers roughly 3 to 4 hours of main story gameplay with a download size around 300 megabytes. There really isn't much story to speak of. At the beginning, we find one of our siblings being kidnapped by a mysterious red-eyed creature, and that pretty much is the only motivation we need to set out on our adventure. The graphical style used here reminded me of Limbo, which was another great side-scroller, and as far as the gameplay, it's a fun time. There's plenty of different puzzles to keep your brain working, and the controls were great. Of course, the game looks good and runs great on the Switch as well, and if this looks like your type of game, be sure to pick it up before the sale ends on March 7th. Right now it's marked down 80% to just $239. Towaga Among Shadows is an action-adventure game from Forever Entertainment with a download size around 1.3 gigabytes and a main story that will last roughly 3 to 4 hours to finish up. The game is available in local multiplayer for 2 to 4 players as well, making it a great option for those looking for something to play with a group of friends. Now the game is fast-paced and features wave-based combat for over 60 intense levels. You'll have spells and abilities to master and upgrade, 4 different game modes, gorgeous graphics, and sound inspired by animated movies, plus, as we said, again you can play with 3 other people in local couch co-op. If you're interested in Towaga Among Shadows, make sure to pick it up before the sale ends on March 17th. Right now it's marked down 85%, matching a previous low of just $224. Battle Axe. This is an arcade-style adventure game for 1 to 2 players in local co-op with a download size around 170 megabytes and a story that's short and sweet but has plenty of replayability due to the arcade nature of the game. Now this is a hack and slash style game with a top-down view and a story that centers around a group of heroes that step up to vanquish evil once and for all. With the fear of even more people being forced away from their families to never be seen again, we set out on an adventure to take down Etheldred, a tyrannical leader that has been in power for far too long. If you're interested in Battle Axe, make sure to pick it up before the sale ends on March 10th. Right now it's marked down 50% and matching a previous low of just $14.99. Curious Expedition is a single-player roguelike expedition-style simulation game that can take upwards of 50 hours to complete. What's unique here is that a single playthrough is really only a piece of the whole story, so replayability here is outstanding and almost required to see it all. The game requires strategic thinking and planning ahead in order to find rare items and followers. The game also features amazing retro graphics and sound which add to the atmosphere and the feel of the game immensely. It's easy to see that a lot of passion went into the creation of the game, and ultimately, once again, it can be very addictive. If you're into heavy exploration games, make sure to grab this one up before the sale ends on March 15th. Right now it's marked down 65% to a new all-time low of just $524. RICO. This is a first-person arcade-style shooter from Rising Star Games with a download size around 4.8 gigabytes, and it offers a main story that's fast-paced and full of action. The game is available for 2 players in both online and local co-op. It's basically a buddy cop story, and we play as 2 members of the RICO task force doing what you'd expect, pursuing criminals and taking them out. You only have 24 hours though to solve each case, and they're all procedurally generated, giving tons of replayability to the game. They have daily cases that act as sort of daily challenges in a way, and there's even online leaderboards as well. This is a cool game and another great option for online gameplay. If you're interested in RICO, be sure to pick it up before the sale ends on March 15th. It's marked down 65%, matching an all-time low of just $6.99. Next up we have Warlocks 2 Godslayers. This is action RPG from Qubic Games, and it's part of their anniversary sale going on this month. Many of their games are on sale for less than $2 as a result. Now this one has local co-op for up to 4 players as well, with a download size around 1.6 gigs. The main campaign is pretty tough though, so keep that in mind. You have multiple playable characters, classes, great art and animations, plus the game can last more than 10 hours to finish up, giving plenty of value for the price. If you're interested in Warlocks 2, be sure to check it out, as well as the other titles from Qubic. It's marked down 89% to just $1.99 and the sale ends on the 25th. Another thing I want to mention about the anniversary is they're doing a giveaway which states that if you enter, you have a chance to win one of the 6 golden tickets, which would award you a free code for every game released from Qubic, Untold Tales, or Naptime Games from April of this year until the end of 2023. You should be able to see the snapshot here on screen giving you all the ways that you can enter. And now we'll do a quick list if you made it this far, and if you're looking for more great deals, please click right here to check out some more of our great content. Alright little man, take us home.
That's all for today's list. We hope you liked the video. If you did, consider subscribing and liking down below. Okay, bye!